James, we need to see violence from the UCF Knights on both sides of the football this coming season.
Yes, I think there's going to be plenty with Duke Watson running straight up the O-line, baby.
Let's go.
You are Locked On UCF, your daily podcast on the UCF Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome on in to Locked On UCF, your daily UCF podcast. I'm your host, Mike G. Turn us on, turn us up. We'll turn it out. I'm here with my good friend, James Duncan, UCF sports commentator, co-show host here at Locked On UCF. Talking a little UCF football here to get your Wednesday kicked off. James, it's time to check up on that running back room. I know you want to hear about Taevion Swint.
Yes, I do. But we also have to talk about the elusive QB2 conversation. This is a conversation we've been having for a while, and let's hear what Scott Frost has to say on this battle itself.
Or what he doesn't have to say, depending on how you look at it. But it's going to be a little bit of a unique start to the show. We got clips for you guys, and we're going to start that off talking about how violent a football team UCF needs to be. This is about physicality. We'll get the show started there. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Your likes and subscribes help keep us the #1 source of UCF football content on YouTube or anywhere. We are the #1 UCF podcast, baby. Today's show is brought to you by our title sponsor, Kalshi. Guys, for a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code LOCKEDON to get $10 off when you trade $10. Let's start with Scott Frost being asked a question about how violent and physical his football teams to be. Here's Scott Frost. We'll be right back.
During practice, you could hear coaches saying, be more violent. Have you seen a change in the physicality of this team, say, from spring to now?
Yeah, some people don't like the word violent, and in football terms, we just mean it to be tough and aggressive. And so I want to asterisk that. But, I want our guys to finish blocks and to come off and shoot their shot and go as hard as they can. I'd rather see guys go full speed and go too fast and miss on a block or a tackle in practice so they know what their limits are. Tentative doesn't win you a lot of football games, so we've emphasized that for sure.
James, who doesn't like the word violent when you're talking about football, man? Get that soft crap out of here. I want to see them violent. I want to see them flying around the football. I want to see them angry. I want to see them knocking heads, man, playing aggressive, fast and aggressive. Look, football is a physical game. There's no way around it. I love the safety measures that we've implemented to make sure that guys aren't getting brain damage, but this is not a sport for the weak at heart and the soft, man. You've got to go out there and you've got to be physical and you have to play violent.
Yeah, I think one of the best quotes from Alex Grinch when he first came in to the University of Central Florida was, he goes, "Oh yeah, we're just gonna flock to the football." He goes, "I don't care who it's gonna be. I want 11 heads to the football." I think that it is, in theory, what you hear from a lot of head coaches. I have not seen a head coach at UCF or a defensive coordinator, my bad, that has really made that happen, especially in their first season as a DC. He said, "Oh yeah, we're going to get 11 heads on the football. I want everybody flocking to the football." I can remember last year when guys would fly from the right side of the field to the left side of the field just to be involved on a tackle. You want to talk about violence? Let's talk about the urge to want to hit somebody when you're on the football field. Yeah. You want to feel that urge so bad that you're going from the right hash all the way to the left boundary just to get a hit on somebody. I'm telling you, these guys get fired up. It's funny for some of you guys that don't know, I'm currently doing the Dallas Cowboys hits podcast with Locked On. And one of the things we were talking about, and one of the things I was talking about, was seeing these guys in practice. Is it good that they're fighting? Is it good that they're kind of butting heads with each other? On one side, you don't want to see that happen in the regular season. You get a penalty. But on the other side, it's nice to see your guys get fired up. I want UCF to come together as a team and be violent against another team, not with each other, though.
Yeah, look, I actually like that. I like in camp that fights break out, emotions flare. When guys care about what they're doing, you're going to see that in practice.
100%.
I mean, when I used to film two-a-days as a student videographer in the early 2000s for Auburn, and this was when two-a-days was something different. Like, it is literally illegal to do for two-a-days what they used to do then. We had to eat with the football team because even just as camera guys, we were out there in the heat for hours and hours and hours, and they didn't want us feigning. But they used to run this drill where it was offensive and defensive line, quarterbacks, running backs, linebackers, safeties, no DBs, no wide receivers. And they would line up on like a simulated goal line, and they would hand the football off to the running back, and the only person that was not allowed to get hit was the quarterback. And Tommy Tuberville used to say, we're going to run this drill until somebody throws up or passes out. That was the only rule. When I tell you, dudes were trying to hit each other with helmets. Like, by the time this drill, like, emotions would flare, and they were just like going after each other. James, they won every game that season. They went undefeated through the SEC and whooped Virginia Tech in the Sugar Bowl that year. That team was special, but nobody, Cadillac, Ronnie Brown, I mean, those guys went 2-5 in the draft that year. Nobody was off limits. And you, as a coach, you have to find a way to generate that sort of violent competition without being able to do some of the things that they did back then. It's very difficult. And it's made the game softer. I won't lie. Safer, but softer. And at times you need to be able to teach violence, but form, because you can hit somebody violently, but the right way.
Yeah.
Right. Without leading with the crown of your helmet and just, form tackle them, man, but just make them pay, man, knock the wind out of them. There's still nothing wrong with that, dude. I hate that the game has gotten so soft, but I like that the game is safer. So, the best coaches will teach violence and safety simultaneously. Yeah, right. It's just it's a matter of teaching. And this is when you talk about like targeting rules and things of that nature, where they're teaching like you can't lower your helmet into a hit, or they're going to call you for targeting. It's how do you practice that? So look, man, I love this question. Kudos to the reporter that asked this question. And I thought Scott Frost gave us a pretty good answer there. Let's get to our first break, and when we come back, I want to talk about this QB2 thing, man. This is probably one of the more interesting answers of this press conference today, but we'll get to that right after a quick word from our sponsors. Support for today's show, James, is brought to you by our friends at Game Time. I love concerts. You love concerts? Comedy?
I love concerts. I told you I'm about to go see Bruno in Tampa, man.
Yeah, Bruno Mars is an elite show. It is an absolutely elite show. There are more live events like Bruno Mars worth seeing right now than ever. Games, concerts, comedy shows, festivals. The hard part isn't deciding that you want to attend. It's getting tickets. Between long wait times, confusing checkout processes, and surprise fees, buying tickets can sometimes feel harder than it should. That's why so many fans are turning to Game Time. The app is built to make buying tickets simple with upfront pricing, seat views before you buy, and exclusive savings opportunities that help you get to events you want to without the usual hassle. Again, panoramic seat views are my favorite part because I want to know that I'm not going to be sitting in front of a pole try to see Bruno perform. It happens, man. It happens. So you can take the guesswork out of where you're sitting or buying tickets in general with every type of event with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDON for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We're growing fast, but we want to grow even faster. Tell your mama, tell a friend, share this video on social media. Help us become the #1 Big 12 show. Somebody said this in our comments the other day. They said, I remember when we didn't even have a Locked On UCF. Now it's easily one of the best shows in the conference. This comment made me smile from ear to ear. If you are the YouTuber, subscriber that left that comment, email me.
Mike sent that in the team Slack, sent it all to the guys, and he was like, this is the reason why we do this. And I also want to give a big thank you to all that you guys have done for us, especially, gosh, in the past couple months this offseason, we've really tried to bring you guys content. We're killing our show quotas over here every single month, trying to push out as much as we can for you guys. And we appreciate all the support that you have given back to us. So thank you guys so much.
It's been one hell of a ride. Look, hopefully UCF gives us a hell of a ride this season, a good one. But that's going to depend a lot on who's playing quarterback. We know Alonzo Barnett's going to start. There's been a lot of questions. You pushed me on the show a few days ago about whether Caleb Annette is QB2. Let's listen to what Scott Frost had to say about that QB2 spot in Caleb Annette.
Has Caleb Annette, has he settled into that QB2 position? And if so, what have you seen from him through the course of spring and now preseason?
Yeah, Caleb had a great spring. He's had a really good fall camp. I'm really comfortable with his abilities right now. That being said, Rocco's done great. Lights has done great. Dante's done great when he's got reps. So there's a lot of guys there that I trust, and I think we'll have that conversation after this three practice block.
It's Caleb. It's Caleb. It's Caleb. Do you hear what I'm hearing? This is what I've been hearing. That's why I was saying I think it's Caleb, because he's not talking. He's like, he's had a great spring. He's this and that. And this. Then he talks about the other guys. He's like, yeah, but Rocco's great and Lights is just great. And it's like,
here's the thing. He rattled off. It to me, it seems like now it's Rocco and Ke'Juan battling for QB3.
Okay.
Now that's what it seems like to me. And I hate admitting that. And Kyle is going to kill me because I'm admitting that Ke'Juan might not be QB2, but I don't think, and this is straight from the horse's mouth, and the horse's name is Scott Frost. He said there are some battles that are going to continue into the season. And I think that it's going to be whoever is best in that moment. I don't think, like, if they're in a dire need of like a pass heavy situation, then I think, they lead with Caleb Annette. If they're in a situation where Alonza has to come out and they need to pass the football, which I'm hoping it never becomes a situation, then I think they lean with Caleb Annette. I think in a situation where they're up, they need a veteran guy to come in, manage the tempo, manage game sense. I think then you go with Ke'Juan Jenkins. I think if it's a situation where you're up 60 on Bethune-Cookman, then you put in Rocco. I think, you know what? I also love to hear this, and I don't love to hear it for Dante Carr, but I do love to hear it in the spirit of Rocco Marriott, in the fact that, unfortunately, it felt like Dante, and I don't want to put this in the words of Scott Frost, but it felt like Dante there was like an afterthought in terms of like, this is a project guy that we're working on still. But he was real quick to say, oh yeah, Rocco and Ke'Juan, they're also having great camps. Oh, and then Dante. I think that shows to me that Rocco has made a huge leap as a freshman. I mean, I've been getting out there and seeing this guy in practice. He's legit. And when he first got here, there were some adjustments that were needed to be made, and he has since made those adjustments. I think he's an actual real threat out there right now, Mike.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I feel like it's Caleb. I would not be, if Rocco somehow came from the back of the pack to win QB2, I wouldn't be mad at it, because I think he's your heir apparent. And if you believe in this kid, I think it validates the belief that you put in him, that he was able to outplay some veteran players to garner more playing time. So this is going to be very, very interesting here. I mean, again, let's change gears. Let's talk about QB1 here for a second before we move on. Alonzo Barnett, as the season gets closer, I think it's starting to become real for people that he could be the real deal. And I think that he has been massively underrated, but it seems like people are starting to wake up to the talent that is actually around him and the potential in those guys. Josh Derry being at the top of the list. And it seems like every other day, someone's writing a think piece about Tyron Hornes. I saw Matt Marshall put an article out there about Tyron the other day, and
it's big if Matt writes about it. It's big if Matt writes about it.
I love that he's writing about it. Guys, go check. I mean, I don't know where to send you, but go check out Matt's stuff, right? Wherever it's at. Follow him on Twitter. I think he posts his articles to his Twitter. So that's probably the easiest way to find this article about Tyron Hornes. But we knew this about Tyron.
He's Orlando Sentinel.
Yeah, Orlando Sentinel. Okay, yeah. I don't want to make sure he gets proper credit for his work there. Yeah. We knew this about Tyron. We told you guys months and months and months ago before spring practice started, Tyron Hornes is going to be a dude. And now here we are, and you're talking about Tyron Hornes. He was the absolute crown jewel of that recruiting class. And Tyron Hornes is going to tear up the Big 12 for the next 3 years. It's going to be the Tyron Hornes show. I have not been as excited to see a UCF player suit up as I have Tyron Hornes since we started doing this channel. Since I've been covering UCF, I have not been as excited to see a UCF Knights suit up and play. I think he's going to get time versus Bethune, and I think he's going to be – I think what's going to happen is they're going to throw a basic old pass to Tyron, and he's going to find a way to turn it into a touchdown. And then he's going to do it again, and then he's going to do it again. And then, James Duncan, you are going to come back to this show, and you're going to say, you know what, Mike? You said 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Guys, there's Mike the Prophet is a thing, so if we look at this first game, if Tyron Hornes takes a screen 80 yards, I'm asking Mike where the next lottery ticket is sold, because I truthfully do believe that there is some insight to this. And I don't know. I mean, Tyron has just really made a name for himself. And by the way, I'm saying that while he's in a crowded wide receiver room with a lot of veteran experience, I think Tyron Hornes could be the next great UCF Knight. Like, I think he could be the next legendary UCF Knight. He could be the next Gabe Davis. He really could.
But yeah, I have not gotten rid of this graphic of the top UCF wide receiver duos since like 2015. I'm going to flash this up here, right? Ke'Juan Smith, 2017, 1,100 yards. Gabe Davis, 2019, 1,200 yards. I mean, he tops this list, right? Marlon Williams, 2020, 1,000 yards. Plus, Jalen Robinson was 979 yards, practically 1,000 yards as well, too. Javon Baker, 1,139. Come on, man. If Alonza's really good at the deep ball, and you can rack up yards really quickly game after game, catching 50, 60-yard touchdown passes from Alonza. I mean, once he gets behind the defense, just throw anything in the vicinity. I promise you he's going to find a way to adjust to the football and get it.
So since you showed that graphic, Mike, I want to put you on the spot here before we go to our next segment.
All right.
Okay, first of all, yes or no, do you believe that there's going to be a wide receiver duo that makes that list this season?
That makes this list this season?
That makes the top wide receiver duos in UCF history?
Yes.
Okay, tell me who the duo is.
Josh Derry, Dylan Wade. Hear me out.
Okay, he's a tight end, but I'll let it slide.
Yeah. No. All that matters is the yards and the receptions, baby.
Okay.
So, yes, I'll go with Josh Derry, Dylan Wade, with Tyron Hornes in there just doing some magical stuff to like 700 or 800 yards.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun season. Let's get to our last break, and when we come back, we're gonna do a checkup on running backs. That's right, running. We got to check in on the running back room always. We'll talk about that next, right here on Locked On UCF. Support for today's show is brought to you by the Kalshi app. We do a lot of predictions here at Locked On UCF, predicting Tyron Hornes. As a matter of fact, on Kalshi, the Bethune-Cookman game is up. Right now, you can bet UCF to cover the spread. Kalshi has it at 41.5 points now. 41 and a half.
It was at like 33 a couple weeks ago, guys.
Yeah,
we told you to hammer it.
We did tell you to hammer it. You should have listened. $20 right now on Kalshi will win you $31 to cover the spread here. I'm taking the Knights to cover.
41.
I'm taking the Knights to cover. Don't do that. It's game 1. So I don't care if it's before the season kicks off. I like the Knights to cover. Look, everybody's making predictions. Who wins the division? Who covers this? Who covers that? Who's lifting the trophy at the end of the season on Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform. You can trade those predictions in a live market. So if I don't like it, I can just be like, hey, trade this one off. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as probabilities change, you can buy in and out of your position. Trade the draft pick, the game, and more on Kalshi. Download the Kalshi app and use code LOCKEDON to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risks and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory. We got one more clip here about the running backs. So I'm going to run this, and we come back. We'll talk about what Frost had to say about his running back room.
Saw you're working pretty closely with the running backs offensive line today. Was there anything specific you wanted to refine with them, wanted them to learn today?
No, if I see something, I'm going to say something. And, it gets easier and easier when you get through camp. Like, I don't think we're doing this well enough. And addressing that with individuals or position groups. And our assistant coaches are doing a great job. Their standards and expectations are great. The effort they got our guys playing with is great. But if I see something that I want fixed, I'm going to step in and do it. And I also give our assistant coaches credit. As good as they are what they do, they don't get their ego bruised if I step in and want it a different way or want to coach them. So I got a really good staff, and they're doing a great job.
Really good staff there. I think he has a really good staff and a really good running backs coach as well, too. But look, the run game is going to play a significant role for UCF this season. There are going to be times where you just need to control the clock here, man. How do you like the running backs before we get out of here?
This is one of my favorite units on the team, and I've got a lot of favorite units on this team, and the running backs is definitely in that category. Duke Watson, we've I think talked at length about Duke Watson coming over from Louisville. Obviously, ridiculous yards per carry in his freshman season. Had his sophomore season kind of tweaked up by injury. I think what no one's really talked about is how young this running back room is. I do believe that every single person in the room besides Landon Chambers will have eligibility after the season. I got to double check on Landon Chambers with the new 5-for-5 stuff. But he's coming over from Central Arkansas. Swint's obviously been here. I actually talked to Swint a couple of days ago at Media Day. He was so juiced to get on the field. The running back room, I think more than any other room in the entire offense, is so wired to get on the field. These guys want to run, and they want to run hard. They want to run fast, and they want to run into the end zone, because Taevion Swint, man, this is a guy, and Mike knows, and for longtime watchers of the show, you guys have heard me talk about Taevion Swint on and on and on and on and on again. I think he has the highest ceiling in this running back room. I'm just going to say it. That is what I believe. He has the highest ceiling in this running back room. He has played 0 minutes of college football. I'm aware. You know who else has played 0 minutes of college football? Tyron Hornes. We believe in Tyron Hornes. I believe, and I know you believe too, Mike, in Taevion Swint.
Yeah, I do. Look, you had to sit down with Taevion that we ran for everybody. He's got the right attitude, man. I think a lot of guys on this team have the right attitude. They're hungry, and they're ready to play some football. And we're not too far away from that first kickoff. We're going to go and get out of here. James Duncan, co-host here at Locked On UCF sports commentator extraordinaire. I want to thank you for joining me on today's show. Guys, hit the comments after the video. Let us know what you think about the running back room, the quarterback room, and the violence that we want to see. Do you guys agree with the word violent when it comes to college football? The only answer is yes, or get off my comment section. We're going to go on and get out of here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Help keep us the #1 UCF podcast out there. We'll see you guys later today right here on Locked On UCF.